Hello guys, my name is Dr. Varun and here we are back with another video for 30 days, 30 most important topic for NEET Biology 2025.
Chalo, let's complete it.
So in today's video, we're gonna see and we can study about the structural organization in animals. Now in this chapter, in your latest NCERT, only the frog is given. But frog is not the only topic which is present over here. You have to study about the animal tissue and cockroach, these two topics. So first we will go towards the animal tissue. So let's just start with this topic. So first of all, our major topic today is the animal tissue. Now, first of all, you will remember that where the question will come. The questions would be first, that would be the example based, match the following, okay, which is coming, trend is there, okay. And the second type of question is statement based question that's coming, or diagrammatical based questions that will come. So from the animal tissue topic, so we're gonna study in that format only. So starting up with the animal tissue, there are only 4 types of tissues present in any animal. Mean us also 4 types of tissue and their modifications are present. Question will be from the modification only. Okay, so I'm even leaking you the paper simultaneously. So 4 types are there. We have to study these 4 types. Quickly we will do it. Don't worry. So what are the 4 types? First is the epithelial tissue. After epithelial tissue, we have the connective tissue. After connective tissue, we have the muscular tissue. And the last tissue in our body or the animal, that is neural tissue or nervous tissue. Okay, moving on to the next thing, in the epithelial, one by one we are hopping up to the topics. So the first one is the epithelial tissue. Now epithelial tissue is what? This forms the outer covering of the glands. Okay, so means if someone will ask where it is present, means it forms outer covering. So major work is covering. If we see the functions, so further they are divided into 2 types. So we will learn it. So covering, lining of the glands, these are what its function. Like for example, this skin, it is a type of epithelial tissue. Inside my body, for example, esophagus is there. Okay, tube-like structure. So if you see tube-like structure, this is what? This is the epithelial tissue. In the epithelial tissue, there is the, like, of course, if it is a cell, one cell would be what? It is free surface. Like for example, if this is my esophagus, if I'm seeing it, okay. So if I'm seeing the esophagus, this area is the free side of the cell, whereas this other side of the cell, like imagine that this is a single cell layer for now, okay. So this cell will have what? Another side which is joined with another layer over here. Okay, what are those things? We will learn later. Okay, so this is what? One side would be free end, which is towards the cavity or the lumen or anything, and the other side would be covered by the basement membrane. So every cell has what? Basement membrane present. So if I had to make a basically, so epithelial tissue is what? Imagine these are the cells of the epithelial tissue, nucleus of the epithelial tissue. They are resting on a membrane. The membrane is called as what? Basement membrane. And below the basement membrane, there is presence of what? Connective tissue. So means connective tissue is doing connection between certain things. So skin, connective tissue, and the muscle. So between the muscle and skin, which layer is connecting? Connective tissue. We will learn later. Okay, moving on to the next thing. In epithelial tissue, 2 major divisions are there. Simple epithelium tissue and compound epithelium tissue. The simple epithelium tissue, it is what? It is made up of single layer. Whereas compound epithelial tissue is made up of multiple layer. So simple epithelial tissue and the compound. Its diagram is also given to you. Okay, so you have to see the old NCERT. If you need the books or the PDF of these deleted portion from the new NCERT, but still in the syllabus and the question is coming from it, you can follow me on my WhatsApp channel, that is Biology Simplified English. Its link will be in the section, in the description. So simple compound tissue. Now the major thing is what is their function. The simple compound tissue is major function is it do the secretion and absorption. Whereas compound epithelial tissue, what its function is? Its function secretion plus absorption, NCERT say, but the major function, main function is the protection. Think now that if the multiple layers are present, means any one can't go. That's why what happened when we used to do, like if you might have studied about the Mahabharata Yuddh, in that there was what? There is a formations of certain chakraviyus where the multiple layers are there because no one can like go to the center person, the main person who they are protecting up, okay, the main king or main commander or anything over there. So this thing works over here also, compound tissue. Now the simple tissue and compound tissues has further divisions present to it. We're gonna only doing the NCERT and one extra which is not given in NCERT but it's in our syllabus, okay, that we will do. So in simple compound tissue there are types, okay, so one by one I am writing it. The first is the simple squamous epithelium, okay. Next is the simple cuboidal epithelium. I'm not writing completely, I'm just writing the major name. Then the next one is simple columnar epithelium. Then simple ciliated epithelium. And the last one is the, which is not given in NCERT also, but it is very important. Just remember the example because this can come to you in the paper definitely. That is the pseudo-stratified or transitional epithelium. Okay, just remember pseudo-stratified. So next thing about this would be what? In terms of compound epithelium also, there are two major divisions. One is what? This pseudo-stratified. Not pseudo-stratified, just we are not going with this. We simply going with what? There are two divisions. One is the similar kind of like stratified. Stratified means layers present. Stratified, and in this stratified, they can be squamous, they can be compound, they can be columnar, they could be ciliated. Okay, these things are there. Okay, so we are not doing it because very little is given in NCERT, so we just remember as a fact. Okay, and the last one is this is transitional. Okay, so the name you have to remember. This transitional also not given in NCERT, but you have to remember. Let's see what is present inside it quickly. So squamous will be what? The cells will be flat like your tiles. Look at you have a tiles down there on your floor. Okay, so these kind of cells will be there, flat tiles like cells are there. That's why it is also called as pavement epithelium. Okay, so pavement on which the people walk. Okay, so this thing is there. Moving on, this is squamous epithelium. Very flat cells are there, means these cells do not have very large thickness present. Okay, so if something don't have thickness, thing can easily pass through it. It don't have to take a lot of time and wait inside the cell to move. So this cell help in the diffusion. So this become an important point over here, that they help in what? Diffusion. So where diffusion occur? Two examples are given to you and that only you have to remember. Number one, the diffusion is occurring at the alveoli. Okay, so at the alveoli level. So what? Alveoli in lungs. Next example is between in the endothelium. What is endothelium? The blood capillary squamous cell layer is called as endothelium. Always remember. So next example is endothelium, because in the capillary also what is happening? What is happening? In your capillaries also there is a blood transfusion occurring. We will learn that thing in the respiration chapter also. So these two examples you have to remember. Next comes the cuboidal epithelium. Here the cuboidal epithelium, they have what? Cube-like structure like this. So this cube-like structure present. So if someone will ask like what are the examples of it? So example of cuboidal epithelium is of, it is a parts of your nephron. Okay, so it is present on PCT, it is present on DCT. Now what happened? On these parts, there one side has what? There is a presence of finger-like projections. When there is a finger-like projections present, we call it what? Villi, right? And since these villi is present on the cells are very microscopic. So these are called as microvilli. Okay, so here I am going little down and making the diagram. Okay, so what happened? They have what? The small microvilli is present. Okay, so cells looks like this. So they contains what? Microvilli. Microvilli, when the villi is present, means to absorb things. So in PCT and DCT, what happened? More absorption occurs. Okay, in PCT, we know that 70% of the reabsorption of the filtrate occur. Okay, so that's why they are present over there. And this is what? In the nephron of PCT, DCT of nephron. Next comes the columnar epithelium. In columnar epithelium, what happened? They are long structure, and at the base there will be present of what? Their nucleus. Now, where these things will be present? These things are present in the intestine and all. Okay, so your stomach and intestine. Stomach, intestine. Okay, they can also have what? Microvilli present. You know that intestine has microvilli present. So they will be what? They can be also microvilli present on the long columnar cells. Further, these columnar and cuboidal cells, they are further divided, okay, on the basis of other things which are present to it. What are the other things? For example, if there is cilia present, means for example cell is there, no microvilli, but hair-like extensions present. So we call it what? Ciliated ones. Okay, so there is what? This cuboidal or these columnar cell, they might have what? Cilia present on the top of it. If the cilia is present, we call it what? Ciliated simple epithelium. Okay, this could be cuboidal, it could be columnar. So I have made both the structure over here. Where it is seen? It is seen on the glands where the movement, propulsion of things are needed. Okay, so what would be the example of it? One famous example that would be asked to you, that is fallopian tube. In fallopian tube, what is present? Your fertilized zygote will be present, which is non-motile. Your ovum would be present, or secondary oocyte would be present, which is also non-motile. So we need it. Okay, next thing here on the trachea also it might be present to move the mucus. Okay, over here. Moving on to the pseudostratified. What is pseudostratified? Sometimes what happens, these are the columnar cells, but their nucleus is present at two different levels. And because of that reason, it appears like that two layers are present, but the layer is one. How we come to know that layer is one? Because all the cells are present on single basement layer, whether their nucleus is down or up, but the basement membrane is single only. Because if multiple layers are there, there should be a different distinctions between present, but here it is not present. So that only this much pseudo-stratified, you have to remember that what it is. So if someone will ask like what is pseudo-stratified? So pseudo-stratified means what? That there are certain cells or the certain tissue in which the nucleus is at different level. So can you see that these cells has a lower level, these cell has a higher level nucleus. So it appears like what? Two different layers are present. But in reality it is single layer because there is a single basement membrane that is present. That's it. Moving on to the next thing, that is compound epithelium. In compound epithelium, you have to remember that multiple layers are present. So they are present in the areas which need these kind of things. In this also there are distinction like squamous epithelium, cuboidal, all of these things, whatever we have studied over here. Okay, but the only thing is that you don't need to know the divisions, okay, because NCERT do not give it. What NCERT says that the example, so where it will be present, this is present in the skin. Okay, this is like what NCERT given, that only I am telling. Okay, there is skin, it is present in the buccal cavity, that is mouth. It is present in your ducts of glands and pancreatic ducts. Okay, these things are given to you in NCERT. This you have to remember. Moving on, transitional epithelium, which is not given in NCERT, but it is a compound epithelium. What is special about it? In this epithelium, basement membrane is absent. And when the basement membrane is not present, then it can be extended or stretched. So this epithelium can be stretched. Now, which organ needs to be stretched? Your urinary bladder. So that when the urine is filled up, it can keep on filling, and when which we need it, then only we go and pass out the urine. That's why you are able to like hold your urine for a longer period of time, although you shouldn't do that, okay, but you can hold it for a longer period of a time. So example of this, you have to remember what? Urinary bladder. Okay, so stretchable, basement membrane is not present. This could be assertion reason based question that can come from this. Okay, this is epithelial tissue. Now this epithelial tissue, certain things you have to remember. What things you have to remember? That in them the certain cells, they grouped together and started doing extra functions. What kind of function? Glandular functions they started doing it. So this epithelium forms the glandular epithelium also. Okay, so there is what? There is a glandular epithelium version of it. So this glandular epithelium could be of two types. What are the two types? First division that we are doing, that is on the basis of number of cells. Okay, means if single cell is releasing something, we called it what? The unicellular gland. Okay, so there are what? Unicellular gland. Example, mucus secretion from globulate cells of your various glands, like your stomach and all, intestine, stomach, wherever the mucus is being secreted. So that is what? Unicellular over here. So its diagram is also given in your NCERT. How the diagram is given? Something like this. So there they have made this cell as what? Change into the globulate cell. Okay, and this will secrete what? Mucus. Okay, whereas another example is multicellular. So multicellular gland. In terms of multicellular gland, what happened? Many cells grouped together and do the common function of releasing certain things. Like for example, this diagram is made like this. So they made something like this, and multiple cells are shown inside it. Okay, and these cells are releasing something in the cavity. Where you see this thing? You see in case of what? You can see in case of your sweat gland, which currently, because there is I am also getting no air in the room because I have to record it. So sweat gland, oil glands, these are the example of it. All the other glands, globulate cells is one example, which secrete mucus. All the other glands are the example of multicellular glands. This is also one of the important point. Only example of unicellular is what? Globulate gland. Now this is the basis of on the number of cells present, single cell or multiple cell is working. There is a one more division on the basis of how they are working. Then this thing, that how they are working, it is like second division of glandular epithelium. Glandular epithelium is what? Always remember, it is a modification of epithelium only, which is doing certain function of secretion. Okay, we already said that simple epithelium do the secretion. Another example of glandular epithelium on the basis of mode of secretion. Mode of secretion means how they are secreting their substance. So it is of two types. What are the two types? Number one is the exocrine gland and the endocrine gland. There are third most example also there, which is not given in NCERT. That would be what? That would be the in between of them, which has both the functions. That is what? Mesocrine or heterocrine. Okay, so in the exocrines means they are duct glands. Means they will release their thing into duct or the tubules. Okay, and then it reaches to the certain area and it will do its function. Whereas your endocrine glands, they are ductless gland. So now NCERT says that directly whatever they will release, the organ, the target gland will bathe into it, which seems like something we have studied, that is open circulatory system where the sinuses are present. But that's not the only thing. Even they are released in the blood vessels. So this thing is not given in NCERT, but NCERT expect you to know. How to know, we don't know. Okay, but you should remember it because I am here. So they are released their thing. NCERT says that NCERT statement directly on the target gland. But by what? By blood vessels. So they will release in the blood vessel, blood will reaches there, released. Okay. Myxocrine gland means they have certain part which is, they are certain part which is duct and certain part which is ductless. So both the things are there. So in this examples are pancreas, pancreatic gland. There is gonadal glands. Gonadal glands means your ovary and testes. Basic thing you know for examples. I'm not going deep into it. Moving on to the next one. That is what? That is your connective tissue. Okay. So next is connective tissue. In connective tissue, you have to remember what? You have to remember that connective tissue is further divided into three major types. Okay. So we will see that. What are the three major types? Number one is the loose connective tissue. Loose connective tissue. After loose connective tissue, we have dense connective tissue. And the last one is the specialized connective tissue. Now, your loose connective tissue has two further parts of it. What is it? That is areolar connective tissue. There is adipose connective tissue. When it comes to dense, they also have two types. What are the types? There is dense regular, dense irregular. Example only, just a basic thing and examples. First most important thing is examples. Specialized connective tissue, it could be solid, it could be fluid. Let's just see the examples, the most important one. The areolar connective tissue, it is present beneath your skin. This loose connective tissue is present beneath your skin, first of all, and it connects, it's a connective tissue means it connects two different tissues or two different organs. Okay, so in loose areolar connective tissue, this is present in between your epithelium and the muscles. So means the connecting tissue. Okay, and always remember, in your connective tissue, three things will be present. Means three different types of compositions, and it's either it's present, absent, or types will keep on changing. Okay, so what are the three things? It is made up of three things. First, it has what? It has cells. Second, it has fibers. And the last one, what? Last one is the mucopolysaccharides. Different types of modified polysaccharides are there. Okay, so these three things will be present in them. In the areolar connective tissue, it is present what? It is connecting the organs in between interstitial fluid. So we can call it interstitial fluid. The cells which are present into it, its diagram is given in NCERT, so very important. So cells are what? There are plasma cell, there is macrophages, there is mast cell, there is fibroblast cells. This is bare minimum cells you have to remember. Then what types of fibers present in it? There is collagen fiber present, there is reticulate fiber present, and even the elastic fibers can be present into it, but we will go with these two fibers. Okay, and the next thing is that their polysaccharide, that is polysaccharide is what? Matrix, like what I have to tell you my students, that it is kind of what? It is a kind of a soup. If you are making a soup will have what? It will have water. The water is what? A mucopolysaccharide over here. So different types of polysaccharides are there. In cartilage, it will be chondrin sulfate, like this thing is there. Dermal sulfate, chondrin sulfate, keratin sulfate, this thing is there. Not need to go deeper into it. Then in the soup, you will have what? Veggies. So veggies are what? Your cells. Okay, so all those cells you are putting into it, they are veggies. And then there is what coriander and all, which is like long fibers kind of a thing. So this is the fibrous content of it. Okay, so I remember it like this. So next thing is the adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is what? It is the fat tissue, fat storing tissue. And if it is a fat storing tissue, we have to remember where it is present: beneath the skin or in the yellow bone marrow of your long bones. So beneath all of your skin, like here, everywhere, wherever the fatness is there, this will be present. Okay, now this adipose tissue is of two types. Just remember it. One is white adipose tissue and another is brown adipose tissue. Here only the question will come that brown adipose tissue is present in adult. Okay, so it is present in adult. Here only single, within a one fat tissue, there will be single fat globule will be present. So one adipose cell will have one flat globule. Okay, so means less energy will be provided. Okay, but in terms of brown adipose tissue, this is seen in case of children's, and here one cell will have more than 2-3 globule of the fat. So means more energy will be provided. That is the reason why the children's don't shiver. Okay, you never see the children's like, but we do that. Okay, so this thing is about the adipose tissue. That's it. Adipose tissue is present in the hump of the lot of organisms. It is present in the hibernating frog. It is present in the blabber of the penguins. It is present in subcutaneous layer of the polar bear. Everywhere it is present. Moving on to the regular connective tissue. Regular connective tissue means their fibers and cells are present at the regular. So means it's look like a symmetrical thing. Example you have to study. So what are the example of it? Example of regular connective tissue is two, that is tendons and the ligaments. So tendons are what? Tendons connects bone with the muscle. So if there is a bone and there is a what? There is a muscle. Imagine that this is a muscle. This is a muscle. It joined with the help of this green thing is what? Regular dense connective tissue, which is called as what? Tendons. Whereas your ligament is what? If two bones are there, these two bones are joined together, means these hinges are being joined with the help of what? This ligament. So this thing which is joining green, these are the ligament, which is also what? Dense connective tissue. So ligament joins bone with the bone, whereas tendon will join bone with the muscle. I have made it also. Then dense irregular. Irregular means cells, fibers, anywhere present. No arrangement is there. See, in NCERT says that you see it in the skin. But you have to remember one thing. Skin is one such example. Other example is coverings of the cell. Coverings of the organs, not cell. Coverings of the organs also have that. Means your pericardium. Pericardium means covering of your heart will have that. Similarly, periosteum or perichondrium, cartilage covering, bone covering, all these covering has what? Irregular ones. Just remember it, the fact ones. This can be asked to you. Then comes the specialized connective tissue. In this, solid is there, fluid is there. If we see the solid one is for the two. What are two? One is the cartilage and another is the bone. Now your cartilage statement will come where the cartilage will be, it is solid but pliable. Pliable means little bit we can cut it. So how will we remember it? Everyone has seen people, or the non-vegetarian has seen what? The leg piece. You are eating leg piece. Okay. In the leg piece, once the muscles you have eaten up, there's on the both the end certain part which is little less white color, which you take it and you can eat it. That part is what? Cartilage. Okay. So it is pliable, compressible. Okay. But it is solid. Okay. And the left out part, this and this area, this is what? The bone part of it, which is solid and it is non-pliable, means you can't compress it. Okay, this thing you have to remember, cartilage and bone where it is present. Next thing is that cartilage has the cells different from the bones. Like cartilage cells are called as chondrocytes, which will form the cartilage cells. It will form what? It will have clast cells and all those cells which you don't have to remember, just a chondrocast you have to remember. Now these, one thing, the diagram is given to you, you have to see that. In the diagram we have seen that one chondrocyte or two, sorry, not one, two chondrocytes are present in a space. Normally 3-4 can present. So two chondrocytes are present in a space. The space name is known as what? Lacuna. Okay, so they are present. Whereas in the bone, only one osteocyte is present inside that space. Okay, the space is also called as what? Lacuna. So lacuna word you have to remember. So lacuna is what? It is a space in which these cells present. Now the fluid connective tissue, here very important part, it is the only connective tissue where fibers are absent. So no fibers present in it. What are the example of these two? The example of these two are what? There is a lymph and there is a blood. So about blood and lymph, these topic is covered in your circulatory chapter. So over there we will deal it in the detail, and I don't think so that must be any problem. You know the fact and the numbers of it. With this, connective tissue is over. After connective tissue, the next tissue is the muscular tissue. Muscular tissue, I know that most of the students do not have any problem. It is easier one only. So let's just give you a brief. Muscular tissue is what? It is mesodermally origin and it has three types. What would be the three types of it? We have the skeletal one, skeletal muscular tissue. We have the visceral or smooth muscular tissue, and the last one is what? We have the cardiac. So its features, I assume that you know that easier one, which is involuntary, which is voluntary, which has the striations, which do not have the striations, which have the faint striations, what is their function, where they are present. Easy, nothing much. Moving on to the next is the nervous tissue. In the nervous tissue, there are two types of divisions present over here. What are the two types of division? Number one division is your neuron, which is the cell of it, and the second is the supporting cells. These are what? Neuroglial cells. Neuroglial cells. In the neuroglial cells, they are the supporting cells. They are more abundant and they can divide. This is the important. Neuron can never divide, but neuroglial cells can divide. Here, neuron structure, you know, okay. Important is neuroglial cells. What is important in neuroglial cells? That there are two different types of neuroglial cells. One is present in the central nervous system. One is present in the peripheral. Central means your head and your back, that is back, like spinal cord. And the other type of the ones are what? Peripheral. Peripheral means which is coming out, like from your brain coming nerves. I'm able to do this because of nerves. I'm able to do this because of nerves. I'm able to do this because of nerves. Okay, so these nerves which are present on the, like coming from the brain, coming on my mouth and going maximum to this area, that is what? Cranial nerves. Whereas the other nerves which are coming from my spinal cord and making me do this, all of these things, making me hand this, everything, that is what? The spinal nerves. So you have to remember that spinal nerve is what? Peripheral nervous system. Cranial nerve is what? Peripheral nervous system. And the brain and spinal cord is the central nerve, which is present center axis to it. Now these cells are divided on that basis. That is CNS and PNS. In this, what you have to remember is, there only we are doing it, which can come to you, that certain neurons are myelinated, means their axon area is insulated, covered. Okay, so these are myelinated neuron. Who is making myelinated neuron in CNS and PNS? That name of the cell you have to remember. So in central nervous system, means in your brain and your spinal cord, wherever the myelin sheet is present. If the myelin sheet is present, your neuron will appear white in color. Okay, so this one is being done by oligodendrocyte types of neuroglial cells. Makes myelin sheet. Whereas in peripheral nervous system, it is being done by Schwann cells. So Schwann cells you might have seen. So the neuron which is giving the neuron which is giving your given in your syllabus is what? It is present in your peripheral nervous system, either cranial nerves or it is present in this spinal nerves, because the Schwann cell word has been added over there and myelin sheet must be formed by the Schwann cell only. So this becomes a very important conceptual understanding question. With this, animal tissue is over and we are completing our class for today also. These notes, if you want, you can find it on my WhatsApp channel, that is Biology Simplified English. It is present, like you can download, sorry, not download, you can just find that in the link, Meanwhile, The cockroach topic, okay, its notes will also be available. Cockroach we are not completing today's lecture, we will do it little later because this video is going way too long, but this is an important one, definitely do it. Cockroach is also important one, last year also question came from it. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you are liking this video. If you're liking it, give me a subscribe, share it with your friend who still think that bio can't get them good score even now. Do these topics, you will definitely able to get it. Well, that's all. Be happy, keep on eating, keep on starting, don't feel low. If you're feeling low, just make a message on this WhatsApp. I will try to connect you on your Instagram or any other places to help you out. Bye.